Awesome. So, hi everyone. I'm just kicking off this leadership speech series. So, I know this is corny, but if I could get a little drum roll just to get the ball rolling. Okay, awesome. So, my name is Alyssa Tabucao, and I know I haven't talked to many of you, but here's a little short introduction. So, I'm a third year chemistry major at the University of San Francisco with a concentration in medicinal and synthetic chemistry. I'm also a Bay Area native, and I currently reside in a small town called San Bruno, and I've been living here since like 2003. And then prior to that, I lived in another small town called Pacifica, if any of you have heard of any of those. So I'm also a first generation college student, and I take great pride in it. Of course, during high school, it was definitely difficult navigating through the college process because my parents, unlike a lot of my classmates, I didn't have any advice or pointers to help me. So I've been fortunate enough at USF to be a part of a community called the Muscat Scholars Program, specific to first generation students, just to provide a bigger support system for us first gens. So here is just a picture of my school. And in the bottom, I have our school's motto, which is change the world from here, which is something I try to embody every single day. And it will kind of come full circle later in my speech, but this was also something that I was drawn to because it really aligned with my values. So in high school, I was very involved in my community as I played basketball for my first 2 years and then explored my other interests in science and technology and joined my school's robotics team my junior year. And we were a part of a organization called FIRST. So my first year, I actually earned a lead role on the team for my hard work and dedicated hours in the lab. And I just decided to include some pictures. So here is me and what was called my drive team getting ready for our first competition. And through this organization, I was able to network and connect with a bunch of people and other students in other countries like the Dominican Republic, Brazil, China, and Turkey. And in the bottom right are some people that I had met from Turkey, and we took them out to Froyo, and I still connect with them to this day, just stay in touch, how school's going, kind of bridge some learning that way. And in the upper right picture is just me and my team outreaching to some kids in the YMCA in Chinatown. And I essentially served as a mentor for elementary school students in San Francisco and the Peninsula through our outreach program, where I taught and engaged 4th to 8th graders in the field of STEM and robotics. So the way that this was held was, we would teach them basic programming and robotics through what's called Lego Mindstorm, go forward, go right, go left, etc. And along with that, I'm just as passionate about service and philanthropy. And this was solidified after a life-changing immersion trip to El Salvador. As cliche as that sounds, it really is true. So this all started when I was accepted into a 2-week immersion program through my high school the summer of my junior year. And here's just a kid that I had met in a small town called El Papaturo. So working with these children in the town, I really saw firsthand how resource-stricken they were, and the lack of basic healthcare available really inspired me and reinforced, to take up medicine as a career with goals of becoming a pediatrician in the near future and looking far, far ahead, possibly a Doctor Without Borders, where I can help provide healthcare to children all over the world in similar situations. And it was really inspiring just to see this community, regardless of the resources they had, they really made the most of it and maximized kind of the resources. And here's just another picture I thought I'd show you guys of where I stayed. So in this back here was where I had lived, and this front little shop, as you can see, was where my homestay family made most of their revenue selling candy, ice cream, chips to people in their area. And fast forward up until now, this past year. So when lockdown first happened last March and everyone went online, my youngest sister, who was 6 at the time, just starting kindergarten, only had one hour long class every single day. And you're like, I don't know, it was just pretty insane to me that someone who is developing their mind, it's just nearly not enough time. So my other sister and I noticed that she wasn't able to fully understand and grasp material, let alone develop proper social skills with people of her age. So we thought it was critical for her to have a disciplined and motivating learning environment, and knew other students like ourselves were in similar situations. So we created Bay Bright Learning. So our mission, of course, founded in the pandemic, Bay Bright Learning strives to brighten lives in the greater Bay Area. So we were a free student-run online summer program dedicated to mentoring kindergarten through 8th grade students to increase their comfort level and proficiency in an online learning format. And we unfortunately didn't get as much outreach as we'd like to. Regardless, the 5 kids that I had helped, and same for her, it's more than enough. As long as you're making a small impact, that's all that matters. So you're probably wondering, Alyssa, where does this motivation come from? So when I was younger, my motivation really stemmed from my dad, who half jokingly one summer challenged me to save the world when I was 11. Ironic, because my university's mission statement is to change the world from here. So I took this challenge seriously, along with my sister, who was 8 at the time, and we made accessories out of duct tape, sold them to family and friends, and used those proceeds to fund microloans through a website called Kiva, which is a nonprofit organization and is actually based in San Francisco. So these microloans were sent to women and families in developing countries, to start small businesses, to earn income, or go back to school to receive a higher education to set themselves up for success in the future. And over time, we have been able to help women and families in Africa, Asia, South America, and the Middle East. And this company is really inspiring, and I love it just because, let's say I donate $1 to a woman to, sell her bracelets, start a business. She can then repay me over time when she earns that money back, and then I can relend it to even more women. So the outreach just expands exponentially. And all of this has really led to the point up until now, which is, BPT, just honing in on my leadership skills, my interpersonal skills, which will set me up for success for my dreams and career goals in the future. So looking forward after undergrad, I really want to take a gap year to travel. And fun fact, I was actually supposed to study abroad in Madrid this semester. And I really wanted to volunteer at a local hospital to kind of get a sense of what the healthcare system is like in Europe, bridge gaps between the American healthcare system and those elsewhere, and find where I, as a future physician, can tailor my care to ensure that my patients can get the best care that they can, and kind of be at the, not forefront, but for lack of a better word, just to really make sure we're growing as a country and ensuring that healthcare is a right and not a privilege. And as I've said before, I really want to go to medical school to become a pediatrician. I have been drawn to kids my whole life, been surrounded by them, just really inspiring to see them develop their personality over time, and just being able to care for them in any way that they need is just inspiring, and probably comes from the amazing pediatrician I had as a kid. But aside from all this craziness, I do like to have some fun. So when I can, I like to go to the beach, watch sunsets as a way to, restore my brain and energy. I like to go boogie boarding with friends, but of course can't right now. Of course, I would not go by myself unless I want to drown in the ocean. So I hope overall this talk kind of inspired you to make little change. I mean, as we are already at BPT, but kind of outreach elsewhere in some hobbies that you have. So thank you for listening. If you have any other questions or want to chat, please email me. And that is all.